in. So guys, I have some good news for you. Your mindset is your greatest asset. Let me say that again. Your mindset is your greatest asset. It's not your job. It's not your money. It's not your home. It's not all of your possessions, because all of that can change in a moment. We're actually living in that space right now where everything can stop or be taken away or totally change directions just like that. But your mindset, that's always under your control. And so here's the good news. This is how I want you to think about it. Just like athletes train for their sport, come on, you guys have seen that. You know who your favorite athlete is. You can drop that in the chat right now. They train for that, for those moves, for that elevation. Firefighters, first responders, nurses, they all train for their special duties. Guys, even babies train to walk, okay? And we can train our brain. See, because this is all accomplished the same way, repetitive action. And the more you do it, the stronger you get. When you change your thoughts, when you focus your mindset, scientifically, you are making your brain stronger. Now, here's the stigma that I want us to break right here, right now, today, in this very moment. Mental health is not just about mental illness. That's a one-sided conversation. It's also about mental strength training, and therefore mental health is for everyone. Saying that mental health is only about mental illness is like saying physical health is only for people with diabetes or high blood pressure or folks who want to lose a few pounds. No, it's for all of us. And I learned this from a personal experience. Before I was 30 years old, I became a widow. My husband was murdered. He was teaching a CrossFit class and somebody walked in and shot him. And guys, immediately I went into a dark space. And not only did I lose my husband, he was actually the beginning of a ripple effect of other losses that came. We'll just say it was a year from hell. I ended up losing my car, my house, my job. And then one day, my 2-year-old, that little one who I told you guys about earlier, he came into my room and he said, "Mommy, are you going to get up today? Are you going to eat?" And I realized that I had two choices. I could either give up or I could get up. I was either going to choose to be a miserable, unhealthy, bitter mom and person, or I was going to take responsibility for my healing and I was going to take my lemons and make lemonade. Now, this is just an abbreviated version of how I came to this conclusion, but I'm trying to get to what I learned so that you can transform your mindset and train your brain. So here's what I know to be true, and I know you do as well. The battlefield is in the mind. Am I right? Say yes or amen in the chat, because I know you know how I'm feeling. So the end goal for me was to break free from the toxic thinking and to find hope and peace and joy. And I realized that I have to stop the negative thought cycle and I need to shift to a more positive and productive direction. Sometimes we choose shift, and sometimes shift happens on its own, okay? But I felt like the Spirit downloaded a life-changing message for me. And this was that everything in life starts with a thought. Before you say it, you think it. Before you do it, you think it. The job that you're in, the relationships that you have, this is all a product of your thinking. So if you want to be able to navigate storms, if you want to build success, if you want to be a good boss, a good mom, a good leader, I mean, if you just want to have healthy relationships, you need to start with a healthy mindset. And here's the bottom line. All of these events and circumstances, and we are learning this right now, it is out of your control. But when you learn how to navigate and flow and get back up when life knocks you down, that is how you live an undefeated life. So here's how you do it, okay? I'm going to teach you. This is a mental exercise that I created, and it's called stop and shift. So stop is the voice, okay? Stop is all about that voice that does not shut up in your head. You know it because when you're trying to fall asleep, it's there. When you're in the shower, it's there. And if you're trying to act like it's not there, hold on. Let me just give you something really quick. Say hello in your brain. Go ahead, say it again. Now scream it. That is the voice. And we need to start paying attention to our thoughts, because when it's taking you down a negative direction, it is your power and your choice to move it to a new direction. And honestly, doing little things like deep breathing, focusing while you're coloring, or just being with your thoughts Little things like that, they're going to help you to discern this voice even more clearly so you can use it to your advantage instead of being controlled by it. So that's stop. We pay attention to the voice. We notice those thoughts. We choose to silence them, not suppress them. Silence them because we've acknowledged them. And then we shift. Shift is all about the choice. And I want you to think about it like this. Your brain is a bubble maker. It's making bubbles all day long because those bubbles are your thoughts. We think about 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day. Like I said, nonstop chatter. Your brain may be the bubble maker, but your mind controls the bubbles and which ones to pop. You can let the bad ones float by and focus on the good. You can pop the ones that are no longer serving you and choose to focus on the ones and grow the ones that are helping you to elevate. See, the more that you do this stop and shift, the stronger your brain gets. Guys, science backs this. And you can practice all the time. You know, when if you're a parent, you know, when your kid gets on your last good nerve, that last good nerve, take a pause and respond instead of reacting. When we're back in our normal schedules, and I know some of you have a commute that may involve some traffic, don't get bent out of shape about the traffic. Fall behind that energy. Choose to stop the toxicity and instead shift to a more positive direction. Guys, right now, during this crisis, this corona crisis, try to make the best of the new restrictions. Just do the best you can. Soak up the good, listen to the birds, enjoy this as much as possible. Stop all of the chaos that is coming into your mind and shift to the things that are going to build you up. I'm telling you guys, stop and shift is like the burpees of mental fitness. The more you do it, the stronger you get. So don't think of mental health as just some people's problem. No, it's everybody who needs to pay attention to this. You can train your brain and you can do it every single moment of every single day. And when you choose to stop and shift to a more positive, productive direction, that's how you spark hope. So how are you going to spark hope today?